Hello everyone, welcome to day 7 of Vlogmas. I had to think about that for a second, what day of the month it was. But welcome to day 7. It is Thursday, December 7th, and it is probably midday. Time out, I have a cat who wants out of the room. I have been very busy this morning. I was doing some homework with Lincoln, of course, and then I did some cleaning. It was my big clean day today. And I decided that my hip was too sore, so I'm going to do a long yoga today instead of walking. However, it is actually very sunny outside today. It is supposed to be 50 degrees, which is ridiculously warm for Minnesota for December 7th. And as much as 50 degrees on December 7th makes me feel very unfestive, it is really nice to feel the warm sun. So I do think I'm going to take a leisurely walk, probably out to the mailbox and maybe just tool around the outside a little bit. But other than that, I think I've got most of my jobs done for the day. I want to do some Christmas things. I want to work on my Christmas cards. I am one of those people who still sends Christmas cards. And I want to have them done before I go in for my wisdom teeth surgery next Friday. So anyway, enough rambling. Let's look at the Advent kits for today. So the very fun yarn one is called Platform Tutus. And now that the sun is actually out, you can actually see a more accurate representation of this yarn. So this is kind of a, fun variegated different colors of pink and kind of a creamy base. Platform Tutus. If you've ever been involved with dance, whether the Nutcracker or otherwise, platform tutus are those tutus that so the ballerina is standing like this. This would be like her waist, and the tutu itself is just like straight, and it's like when she goes in between like people, it kind of has to go all the way up or all the way down, but it stays in this circle and it just kind of moves. It doesn't bend very easily usually. So anyway, platform tutus. And day 7 says, keep a journal. It may sound corny and old-fashioned, but a journal does not have to be all about emotions. Journals are also excellent places to brainstorm new ideas, things you want to learn about in the new year, or projects you want to work on. I have found that having a journal or notebook or whatever you want to call it, to just write down every thought about something that I have to do when it comes to my mind, I just write it down. And that area is very messy. So if you've ever watched The Minimal Mom, it's a podcast on YouTube, or a channel on YouTube. She is really phenomenal. I enjoy watching her. But she often talks about the, what does she call it? The unspoken to-do list. She has a nice word for it. I'll have to, if I remember it, I'll write it while I'm editing. I'll write it on the screen. But it's basically all those things that are in your brain that you know you have to do, but it seems silly to write them down. I have decided to write them down, because then if I write them down, I don't have to remember them in my brain, and it feels a lot less overwhelming. I just look at my big list, and then when I go to organize it for what I have to do, I take stuff off of that list. So anyway, a journal is good for more than just emotions. And let's see. My yarn ink kit, day 7, is called Shadows Speak. Oh, we're still in purple. I'm surprised, actually. It's a really dark purple. The last 3, I'm going to show you the last 3. They've been very similar. You can kind of, this one definitely is darker than the last 2, but these 2 are very similar. I'm not complaining. I love purple. So yeah, so day 7. This is the first time I have done a fade. I've like purchased a fade kit, and it's interesting. As a dyer, I think it would be extremely difficult to dye, because the differences, I am guessing her recipe between these 2 is quite, it's different, but the subtlety is so minimal, it's so minimally different between the 2 that for a lot of people it's hard to see. And in fact, sometimes when I have tried to do colors like that, I'm like, well, it's different, but it's not really different. And so then I will end up calling it the same color, because most people would not see the difference in the 2 colors. So I think fades are very tricky to do. So I'm interested to see where this one will go. So speaking of fades, advent projects, that sort of thing, I have not been feeling very festive or inspired the last couple days, and I was trying to figure out why. Part of it is, let's face it, it's Minnesota, it's December 7th, there's no sign of snow. I mean, we've gotten a little bit of dusting here and there, and I'm not complaining that it's not cold, but I wouldn't mind it being in the 30s and high 20s and snowing. It feels a lot more festive that way. So I'm sure that's part of it. And the other thing I was realizing is that I wasn't really enjoying my yarn. That sounds like a really bad thing to say if I want you to buy my yarn. And I don't mean my yarn, my Very Fun Yarns, like all of it. I just mean that I have been working on and with this Advent kit for so many months. I started dyeing these Advent kits in July. And even before then, the colors were in my head probably almost since last Christmas. So I have been working with these colors a really long time, and they are beautiful. I love them. I'm very proud of the kit that I created, but they are not fresh for me like they are fresh for you. So although I am enjoying making my sock, because that's just a little bit each day, I'm not finding myself drawn to work on the blanket, because again, the pattern I have been working on for a long time, tweaking it. I made many different samples of it or swatches of it, and so I thought, well, I'll finish it. I do want to finish it because I really want to have a blanket of the kit that I created this year, but I'm going to set it aside for a little bit. I'm confident I will come back to it, maybe even before the end of Vlogmas, but I thought I'd take a break from it. So I'm going to show you one more time before I set it aside. I'm a large chunk of the way through the second color. So it's showing up pretty good. There's a little bit of a blowout. But so this is the pattern of the first 2 colors knit up. I haven't quite gotten to, I have one more repeat of the garter stitch section, and then I would get into the stockinette section. So someone did ask me if you are curious or if you want to try this. I am doing a DK weight holding 2 strands of fingering double. I have 2 kits, and I know most people do not have that option, but if you held a different color with it, maybe a solid blue, or you could match the colors slightly, however you want to do it. but I am using a size US 6 millimeter, or not 6 millimeter, size US 6 needle. I'm forgetting how many millimeters that is, but I am using a US 6, and I am knitting the large size, so the blanket size, exactly as written. So I am knitting the same number of stitches, the same pattern repeat, all that is the same. The only thing different was that I chose to do 3 repeats of the main color when I got to that, partly by accident, but also I have enough yarn, and if you chose to do that, you would have enough yarn too. So yeah, so that is the blanket where I have it right now, and I think it's going to be beautiful when I actually am feeling excited about it again, but I'm going to set that aside for just a little bit. And I'll show you in just a second what I picked up instead. But let me show you quick I did not do today's yet, but I did do days 1 through 6. That is my scrappy pair of socks with the very fun advent kit. These last 2 colors here, Fritz from day 5 and Candy Cane Forest from day 6, are very similar. So they kind of blend together. So the pink today from day 7 with the tutu, it will kind of look different. So that's where those are, and I think I'll keep up with those. But what I pulled out was my advent from last year. If you guys were around last Vlogmas, or if you've gone back to watch them since then, you will know that I had exchanged a kit with my friend Sam of Lavender Loon, and hers was a winter solstice kit, so it was 21 days, I think, and it was 20 gram minis. And I started the Pixie, I called it the Pixie Dust blanket, but it's actually based on the Pixie Dust cowl pattern by Kay Jones of the Bakery Bears, which I believe this was a patron only. I'm a patron on their Patreon account, and this was a patron only pattern, but it kind of looks like that in black and white. But here's where I only did 1 repeat last night, but I was really enjoying it. The thing that I don't always love is that this is fingering, so it's a smaller needle, but this is where I was last. So you can see it's going to be a big blanket or like a pretty wide wrap. So what I did is the cowl is meant to go around in a circle. So this is a tip too, if ever you have a cowl pattern that you really like, you can make it work for flat by just paying attention to the pattern and switching around your knits and your purls if you need to get the texture to look the way it does in the round. And that's what I did for this. So yeah, I just did 1 repeat last night of this. I am on color 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm on the 9th color, and I'm doing 5 repeats of every color. So these last 2 are very similar. This one's a little more creamy and orange, and then this one has a little more blue in it. So I have 1 more repeat. So each repeat gives you 1 of these garter bumps. So I have 1 more repeat to do of that. And then I will be on to number 8. Let's see if I can find number 8 in here. Number 8, where are you? Number 8, are you hiding? Number 8, are you hiding? Number 8 does not exist. Maybe I wound it up already. Very curious. 11, 10. Wait, I can't find number 8 because I just told you I was on color 9. Knock, knock, Puddinhead. I am on color 10 next, which is this one, which is a little lighter. And then after that one comes this one. So it moves into like blues and purples, if I recall. Yeah, I'm such a dingling. Yeah, so I'm on 9, so I need 10, not 8. I'm not going backwards. Oy. So, yeah, so that's it. That's what I'm going to be working on a little bit more in the coming days. And I do also have to pull out my fingerless mittens that I am making. I need to get those done. Those are the like a pair and a half. So 3 mittens I need to make yet. And those are super quick. I just need to do a little bit each day so that I have them done and I don't feel like rushed to have to do them. But the moral of this story is that if something is not bringing you joy, it's okay even during Advent. Like say you had this plan in your head and you were going to do X, Y, Z every day. We're like a week in now. So if it's not bringing you joy right now, it's a good time to say, yeah, maybe I'm going to let that go. I'll pick that up another time and I'm going to do something else. So that's your PSA for the day. Okay, enough rambling. This has been 15 minutes of me jibber jabbering and I don't want to make these videos too long. So I'm going to sign off. I think I am going to maybe walk out to the mailbox. I'm going to do some yoga, take my shower, all those fun and exciting things, and then hopefully sit down and do some knitting. So I hope you're having a great Thursday, and I will talk to you later. Bye.